a different kind of light lit up her face. Mixing with the fading sunlight, that glow made the girl look absolutely beautiful. After finishing the cooking for the night, Lily stood on the porch before leaving and said, "Stay safe, sir." I looked at her and smiled. Deep down, it actually felt good. Inside every girl from rural Bengal, there is a mother hidden. Her voice was beautiful, and it was filled with that same warm affection. Lily widened her eyes and warned me again, "This time of the month isn't good. Don't go to that Night Fairies Field even by mistake, sir. They are magical. They consume living people." I said lightly, "I've only heard stories about fairies. If I actually get to see them, my trip here will be totally worth it." Lily looked at me sideways and said, "Don't make fun of the night fairies, sir. For generations we've been hearing that during the 4 days before the puja, they come down to this earth in the mist and dim darkness. They look for a companion." "Look for a companion?" "Yeah. What kind of companion? What else?" Lily smiled softly and lowered her face, twisting the edge of her casually worn sari around her finger. And right at that moment, a different kind of light lit up her face. Mixing with the fading sunlight, that glow made the girl look absolutely beautiful. "It's going to get dark any minute now. I should leave," Lily said, and without waiting another second, she turned around and ran off. Lily is the daughter of Stephen, the caretaker of this bungalow. She was married once, but it didn't work out. Now she lives with her parents in the servants' quarters of this property. Along with her parents, she helps take care of the guests staying at the bungalow. I arrived here just 2 days ago, and I must say, Lily is a really fantastic cook. After a solid month of non-stop writing, I was exhausted and looking for a place to unwind. I wanted somewhere quiet, away from the typical tourist spots. While searching the internet, I unexpectedly stumbled upon this property owned by someone from Chicago. It was a 2-bedroom bungalow nestled amidst a forest of pine and fir trees. In front, there was a red gravel driveway with green lawn stretching out on both sides, dotted with some tall and medium-sized trees. Beyond the fenced boundary of the bungalow, there were a few hills covered in lush greenery. I even spotted a narrow river in the photos. I absolutely fell in love with the place. When I called the number provided with the pictures, I was told the bungalow wasn't available until the 30th. So, I went ahead and booked it for 3 days right after that date. The owner is a doctor who lives in Los Angeles. During our conversation, he mentioned, "Just like you, I fell in love with the house the moment I saw the pictures, so I bought it without thinking twice. I thought it would be a nice place to spend some time with my family during vacations." "Don't you go there?" I asked. "We went once after furnishing the place. But my wife didn't really care for the location." "Why?" "Well, not everyone likes the same places, my friend," the gentleman laughed. "I go there from time to time. When there are no bookings, I spend a few days there. On a moonlit night, that whole place turns into absolute heaven. You see? When I arrived yesterday, Stephen, his wife, and his daughter were staring at me open-mouthed. At first, the look on their faces caught me a bit off guard. But later, I understood why. After lunch, I had taken a long, deep afternoon nap. As evening began to set in, Stephen called me out to the lawn, where he had set up a table and chairs for tea. I had just splashed some water on my face and taken a satisfying first sip of my tea when Stephen brought up the subject on his own. Clearing his throat lightly, he said, "You could have waited just 4 days to come here, sir." "Why?" I asked, surprised. "What's wrong with coming at this time? For 3 or 4 days before the puja, this whole area is taken over by the night fairies, sir. That's why nobody comes here during this time." "Who on earth are these night fairies?" I asked in disbelief. They aren't human, sir, Stephen said, his eyes widening. Just like fairies, they spread their wings and fly down from the night sky to feel the warmth of a human body. Any man who gets seduced by their charms and joins these witches in their physical games, his death is absolutely certain before dawn. Hearing Stephen's words, I found it quite amusing. Just like any other town, this place had no shortage of urban legends. Taking my last sip, I set the teacup down on the table and asked, why did these fairies suddenly choose these exact days to come down to Earth, Stephen? That's a long story, sir, Stephen said in a hushed voice. You see those mountains over there? Once upon a time, an ascetic tantric monk came and made his home under a huge pine tree right in front of them. He was a master of dark witchcraft and seduction spells. Back then, there wasn't a single soul living in these parts, sir. It was during this exact time of the month, in the light winter chill and dim mist, that he used his tantric rituals to call those enchantresses down from the sky. And then what? I asked, feeling curious. They are creatures of pure desire, sir, Stephen lowered his voice even further. Satisfying their physical hunger is no ordinary man's job. But the monk satisfied them, and through his rituals, he achieved ultimate spiritual power. Who told you all this? Stephen looked up at the sky. We all grew up hearing this story from our fathers and grandfathers, sir. They say that during this special time of the month, the monk still comes to that Night Fairies Field. And those seductive women still pierce through the sky to come down with him. And is that special time happening right now? Yes, sir. If I go there tonight, will I be able to see them? Stephen shuddered and quickly covered his ears. Don't even let those unlucky words cross your lips. We don't have the strength to survive that sight. If desire wakes up in your heart upon seeing them, it will mean absolute doom. Ever since Lily left, the bungalow felt a little too quiet. A strange unease settled in my mind. And as the night grew deeper, that unease only kept growing. I had dinner a bit early tonight. I tried to lie down and read a book for a while, but I couldn't focus. Maybe because the windows and doors were shut, the room felt stuffy. I opened the door and slowly walked out onto the porch. Crossing the gravel path, I stood outside the bungalow grounds. A gentle breeze was blowing, and it wasn't too hot. In the distance lay a thick, heavy darkness. In that gloom, the mist-covered hills looked incredibly mysterious. Can't sleep, sir? I hadn't even noticed when Lily had come to stand beside me. There was no moon in the sky. The soft, dim light of the stars fell upon us. In that faint light, Lily looked different. She wore her sari in a simple, traditional style, wrapped over her curves without a blouse. Her loose hair flowed down her back, touching her waist. I felt a sudden surge of emotion deep inside. Unintentionally, a strong desire began to stir within me, and my eyes kept drifting toward her. Quickly looking away, I asked, "It's late. Why aren't you asleep, Lily?" "Sleep hasn't come easy since I left my husband, sir," Lily said, looking me straight in the eyes. Her gaze clearly signaled her own physical longing. I could feel that surge inside me growing even stronger. I could feel the warmth radiating from her body. A little distance away, toward the hills, a reddish glow appeared through the gaps in the trees. I turned my eyes away from Lily and looked toward that light. In a soft voice, Lily asked, "Want to go toward the light, sir?" "What is that light? Where is it coming from?" I asked. "That's the glow from the night fairies' bodies," Lily burst into a giggle. "Want to go see them, sir?" "Yes," I murmured, completely hypnotized. There wasn't supposed to be a moon in the sky. And that night, there really wasn't. Yet, the field surrounded by ancient pines was flooded with a soft, golden light. The air was filled with an unfamiliar, intoxicating fragrance. A few naked women, blending into that magical glow, were looking at me and smiling. Their smiles were a clear invitation. Lily slowly walked toward them. Then, her clothes slipped off her body as well. Merging with the nature around her, the curves of her body transformed into trees, rivers, and mountains right before my eyes. And there, I clearly saw two wings on Lily's back. The passing breeze was growing intense. Riding on that wind, the seductive call of those women reached my ears. "Come, take us." I stood there, completely overwhelmed. My body was shaking. Laughing, they spoke again. "Why hesitate? Come. Enjoy us. What is a woman's body after all? To a capable man, it is nothing but pleasure." My head was spinning. My body temperature was rising. I knew that it wouldn't take long for me to lose myself completely. Even knowing that death was certain, jumping into that tempting fire felt like my destiny. "Come," they said, reaching out with both arms. Right in front of my eyes were their full breasts, deep navels, and open vaginas. I reached out my hand, but suddenly, I froze. "Stay safe, sir," someone had told me earlier, with deep, warm affection. The word affection instantly brought back memories of my mother. Tears welled up in my eyes. Looking at those exposed female bodies, my mind drifted to my birthplace, the village we had left behind so long ago. Whispering a silent prayer, I dropped to my knees and pressed my forehead against the ground. When I finally lifted my head, Lily and the night fairies were nowhere to be seen. In the thick darkness, swarms of fireflies were flying around, lighting up the world with their glow. Bathing in the light of the fireflies and stars, I started walking back. I don't remember when I made it back to the bungalow. When I finally woke up, I saw Stephen and Lily both leaning over me. The moment I opened my eyes, Stephen asked anxiously, "Are you feeling okay now?" "What happened to me?" I asked, confused. Lily said, "When I came to work early this morning, I got a terrible scare, sir. The door was wide open. You hadn't been drinking, yet you were lying unconscious right here on the floor." I sat up in my chair. As the room grew quiet, the terrifying vision from last night rushed back to me, the image of a naked Lily walking alongside the night fairies. I looked up at Lily, and right then, that same horrific smile flickered at the corner of her lips. The haunting look in her eyes seemed to say to me, "Come, consume me, consume." Your love and support are what inspire us to keep moving forward. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to support our channel. Also, if you have experienced any paranormal, mysterious, or unexplained events in your life, feel free to share them with us via email. You can find our email address in the video's description box.